Today was absolutely crazy. We saw all the rumors of Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan for the NFL. We saw a historic blue blood program have its first losing season in a long time. A former head coach who got in some serious trouble has now taken the defensive coordinator job at Texas A&M. A big-time athlete is committed to Oklahoma, and the leading rusher in all of college football is now headed to Mizzou. And today's video will be the start of a new series on the channel. It's basically going to be the biggest topics from each day. I'm going to give my reaction, bring you up to speed on what's going on, and then offer my opinion as per usual. So if you want to support this style of video, be sure to stay until the end, leave a comment down below, smash that like button so I know you like it, and subscribe if you are new. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So the first big topic we need to touch on is Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan for the NFL. I had to look twice when I saw this report. According to The Athletic, there was apparently a legitimate source who thinks that it is going to happen, and in my eyes, this would be so unbelievably stupid for Jim Harbaugh to do. I mean, he already had his NFL experiment. In case you somehow didn't know, he became the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers in 2011. Well, he ended up getting them the 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl in those 3 years. After an 8-8 2014 campaign, he decided to leave for Michigan. Since he has gotten to Michigan, he has stabilized the program, but has been known for not being able to win the big one. The team went 10-3 in 3 of his first 4 years in Ann Arbor, and since then they kind of fell off. Thankfully, in 2021, he saved it all as he got them to the Big Ten Championship, helped them beat Ohio State, and even got to the college football playoff. They did get killed by Georgia, but right now, Harbaugh has a good thing going on in Michigan, and I don't understand why he would want to leave. He has access and resources to anything and everything he wants. Right now, he has proved that Michigan can get to the playoff, and he went to school there, so he obviously loves it, but I don't know. So in terms of him actually going to the NFL, The Athletic said he'd be interested in the Raiders job. As we all know, Gruden got fired for obvious reasons, so they have a head coaching vacancy. Back in the day, Harbaugh actually had his coaching career start there in 2003, and there are 2 other reasons he might want to leave. Right now, the Raiders are in a good spot, and they have a solid quarterback in place with Derek Carr. He's also friends with the Raiders owner Mark Davis, and combining all that with a large chunk of money, maybe it'd be enough to draw Harbaugh away. But this just doesn't make any sense. He's going to have a long leash at Michigan, and he can achieve bigger and more prestigious things at Michigan than he would in the NFL. If he stays at Michigan, he could become one of the best coaches in both college and Michigan football history, and maybe if he goes to the NFL, he'll be done in 2 to 3 years. We don't know though, but what do you guys think? Is Harbaugh going to stay at Michigan, or will he go to the NFL? Let me know down below. The LSU Tigers program is in a both bad and good spot. They ended up finishing the 2021 season at 6-7. Led by Max Johnson, Ty Davis-Price, and Kayshon Boutte, the Tigers had an explosive offense, but it wasn't enough to really win a lot of games. They ended up going 6-7, with their best wins coming against Mississippi State, Florida, and Texas A&M. They lost pretty much every other conference game though. This year wasn't really that great. They would go 6-6 though and make it to a bowl game where they would play in the Texas Bowl against Kansas State. They did have a very interesting quarterback situation. Garrett Nussmeier had already played in 4 games, and while they tried to submit a waiver for him to play and for it to not count against his eligibility, the NCAA denied that. Their walk-on quarterback, Matt O'Dowd, was injured, Miles Brennan was injured, and Max Johnson transferred to Texas A&M, so they were left to start a guy by the name of John Trey Kirkland. Kirkland was a Swiss Army knife type player for them, but back in high school he played QB, so he took over and actually threw 3 touchdowns. Sadly, it wasn't enough, as Kansas State would win 42-20, and this was LSU's first losing season since 1999. Maybe the Tigers are on the up though, as Brian Kelly and Walker Howard are coming in, but who knows? If you're an LSU fan, what went wrong in 2021, and what do you think about the future of the program? DJ Durkin, you probably remember his name at Maryland. After he became a big deal at Michigan, he took the head coaching job with the Terps back in 2015. He got the Terrapins to a bowl game in their first year, where they ended up losing in the Quick Lane Bowl. 2017 was a disaster as they went 4-8, and then things would get 100 times worse. He apparently worked his players so hard in practice that one of the players by the name of Jordan McNair actually died during a football workout. This was really bad, and it brought to light the toxic culture that Durkin had at Maryland. Because of that, he was obviously shredded by the media and was eventually fired by Maryland. It seemed like he was going to get the Art Briles treatment and get the college football coaching death penalty. Nope. He's back in business. After his brief stint at Maryland, he became a consultant for the Atlanta Falcons in 2019 and then took the defensive coordinator job in 2020 for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. After 2 good years there, he decided he would take the defensive coordinator job at Texas A&M. As we all know, Mike Elko left to take the head coaching job at Duke, so now DJ Durkin will be the next defensive coordinator for A&M, and the Aggies have a ton of talent. Durkin is a very good and experienced coach, and Jimbo Fisher strikes again, as it pretty much seems he'll do anything to win football games. From a football standpoint, I love the Durkin hire, but from a PR and potential culture standpoint, I'm a little iffy on it, but hopefully DJ has learned his lesson, and we should all be rooting for him to have a clean turnaround. Either way, this is pretty big for Texas A&M. Up next, we have to talk about a big-time football commit. His name is Jaron Kanak. Sorry for mispronouncing that. Let me know how it's said in the comment section below. Anyway, he was from Hays, Kansas, and is a 4-star player in the class of 2022. He's ranked 253rd in the country according to the composite, so why is this such a big deal? A, he's one of the top uncommitted players in the country, and B, he was originally committed to Clemson. I'm sure Brett Venables going to Oklahoma had a factor in this. I'm obviously being sarcastic. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was originally committed to Clemson because of Venables, and when he took the Oklahoma job, he's now going there. Some said it was the worst kept recruiting secret in the country, but now it is official, as he announced today on Twitter that he is going to be an Oklahoma Sooner, and this is a big get for the program, and now things are moving in the right direction. Coming out of St. Louis, Cody Schrader was a 0-star recruit and was never supposed to sniff either the NFL or Division I college football. In fact, he had to settle on a D2 school in the state of Missouri known as Truman State. Yeah, you've probably never heard of him, and there is a reason for that. They are at a very low level, so there was no reason that many people would know about him. Well, he put both himself and the school on the map, as this year, he ran for 2,074 yards and 25 touchdowns. That number is very important because it leads all levels of football. Whether it's Division I, FCS, Division II, or D3, Schrader had more rushing yards than anyone else in college football. While the level is a little bit different, he could probably get an opportunity to play Division I football, right? Well, that's exactly what happened, as Missouri offered him a scholarship and he announced that he would be transferring to them. As you know, I'm a Mizzou fan, and while I would not expect a guy like Schrader to step in and have those kind of numbers, they are pretty inexperienced at the running back spot, so this could help. I just thought this was worth mentioning because the dude literally led all of college football in rushing yards, and now he'll be headed to the SEC, and this will be very intriguing to watch. So yeah, a big-time athlete is headed to Oklahoma. One of the country's top coaches, and Jim Harbaugh, could be going to the NFL. LSU had its first losing season since 1999. A former criminal coach in DJ Durkin is back in the spotlight at Texas A&M. And finally, the leading rusher in all of college football is now headed to the SEC at Mizzou. Those were the top 5 biggest topics from today that I figured out, and be sure to let me know your thoughts on all of them. I really hope this topic and video style does well, because I could literally do this every day for the next year, but I won't do it if you guys don't want to see it and if it doesn't do well. So be sure to show your support by staying until the end, commenting, hitting that like button, and letting me know your thoughts. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.